Hello, everyone. This is Deb Joy Smeek from Delight of My Art, and we are doing mystery stamping again. We're back to our regular schedule of mystery stamping every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if this is your first time, welcome. The point of mystery stamping is to get out the craft supplies that you have in your house and put them to good use, and we'll make fun projects along the way. So most of the time we're doing fun folds. Sometimes we do techniques, and I do send out these measurements to you. I do want to make a point to let you know that I did have one measurement wrong, and so I want you to take time to correct that right now because it was too small. I'm so sorry. Right over here, coordinating cardstock is 2 5/8 instead of 2 3/8. It's already been corrected in the description on the videos on YouTube and Facebook. So I apologize about that, but this one is just a little bit too shy. This was kind of an optional piece. You don't need that piece, but I think it kind of grounds what we're putting together. So again, the 2 5/8 by 2 7/8 for some coordinating colored cardstock to go along with whatever paper that you chose. But if you would like these directions emailed to you, you can join my email list at email.orderwithdeb.com. And if you can also find them on our Facebook page, Stamp with Delight. But we are live here on Delight of My Art on YouTube and Facebook. Let's go ahead and get started. All right, I will put this off to the side so we can see. I did say to get a white card base. I always say thick. It's nice, thicker base. We have 4 1/4 by 11. We scored that in half at 5 1/2. So I'm just going to take a burn folder here. And we've got Tina as our moderator here on YouTube. So if you have any questions for her, she is happy to answer any of those. She will be letting you know which products that we're using today too. So if you'd like to purchase anything, you can go to orderwithdeb.com. All right, so here is our card base, and it's just going to be a front open like this. All right, so now we're going to get out our DSP number 1, which is 4 1/4 wide by 5 1/2 tall. And we're going to do some cutting with this piece. This was actually part of some DSP that's in the online exclusives, I think. No, it might be in the catalog. Weekend Adventures is what it's called. They have a whole bunch of fun scrapbooking pieces to go along with this paper. In fact, here's my DSP number 2, same paper pack, but isn't that cute with some kind of camping, nature-y kind of vibe anyway. So I'll tell you the measurements for these in just a second, but let me take out my trimmer for our DSP number 1. Again, it's the exact same size as a card front, so it's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So what we're going to do is we are going to make cuts 3/4 of an inch in on both sides. So 3/4 of an inch in. We're starting 3/4 of an inch down. Don't cut off of any edges. Okay. So we're going to put this in with the pattern upright at 3/4 of an inch over here. And we're going to start 3/4 of an inch down. So don't just pull your trimmer down. We're going to start at 3/4 of an inch. And we're going to go until we are about 4 3/4, which is 3/4 of an inch shy of the end down here. So we are just making a little border there. So we're stopping at 4 3/4. We're going to pull our trimmer up and we're going to turn it and do the exact same thing on the other side. We're at 3/4 over here. Since we ended at 3/4, I can just kind of close that on that 4 3/4 and then go up to 3/4 of an inch at the top here. All right, so here we have those 2 slits on the side like this, right? So if you have it upright, go ahead and put the top part to the left, and we are going to connect those 2 cuts that we did by putting this side in at 3/4 of an inch. And then you start again at 3/4 of an inch here, and we will be going down to 3 1/2. That will leave still that 3/4 of an inch, and we should be connecting those 2 pieces. 3 1/2 here. And as we take this out, we should have this kind of swinging door thing going on. Is everybody with me so far? So now I'm going to take a circle punch out so I can kind of keep track of where the top is. This is especially helpful if you have a non-directional pattern. But I'm going to take it and I'm just going to put a little notch over here. I'm going to take a 2-inch circle, but you could do any size. Since our punch is a little bit wider than this door hinge that we did, I feel like doing this cut first before we do this helps us to center our little notch. And I wouldn't go halfway in or anything, just kind of a little notch, maybe 1/2 inch or so. So like that. That's probably not even 1/2 inch, just a little notch there. Dispose of that piece. We don't need the circle punch anymore. Okay, so now with this notch at the right hand, or I'm sorry, the left hand side, we're going to put this back in our trimmer. Now we're going to do some scoring just on this little center piece, this piece right here. So you don't want to be putting the uh, scoring tool on any of the outside pieces. We're just scoring between those two lines here. So we're going to put this in at 4 inches. So that top notch area is at 4, because this is a top notch card. Ah. My son yesterday told me I wasn't allowed to tell dad jokes because I'm not a dad, but I refuse. I will tell whatever jokes I want. So here we have that at 4 inches, and we scored between those two score lines. Now we're going to move over to 2 3/8, which is probably where I got that 2 3/8 confused. All right, so this one's 2 3/8 between those two score lines. And then we're going to do at 3/4. I'm going to turn it the other way so it's a little bit easier. So 3/4, which is connecting the ends of those two lines, the slits that we did. So we're just going to score this, not cut it. Okay, so now we have a score line at the top, a score line in the middle, mostly the middle, and then we have this shorter piece down here. So we're going to take this one and we're going to fold it completely up. You actually won't see the other pattern unless you were to like really maneuver your card and peek in here, but this one's going to be a mountain and then this one's going to be a valley. Are you intrigued yet? I hope so. All right, I'm going to burnish those folds and then put it all flat again. Okay, so now we have this fun mechanism, and it wasn't that difficult, right? Now we're going to take DSP number 2. There's 2 pieces, and this first piece is 3 1/4 wide by 4 3/4 inches tall, and we're going to make this into a tag shape. What you can do is you can take a corner punch and just kind of punch the corners off, which I have this corner punch handy. Where I did have it handy. Oh, it's right in front of me. This one is retired, but this is a 3/4 inch square. So if you took a 3/4 inch square and then cut it on a diagonal and then held those pieces up to the corners, you could follow those and then it'd be a nice even little tag shape. But I'm just going to use my punch because it's nice and easy. See what I mean? This is like a 3/4 inch square. So you could put this over on both sides and then just follow along that little edge. You could probably see it better if I turned it over to the other side. So like that. You can just follow along on that little trek. Let's just do it right now. Just like that. Nice and even. All right, so here's our cute little tag, and I do want the blue side showing. And so I'm going to turn over both of these pieces like so, because we're going to do some gluing, but I do want to make sure that they're both turned over because I want this side showing, and this will be kind of tucked into the back here a little bit like this. So if we turn both of them over, then we're going to do it right. Now this short little piece at the bottom here is where we're going to add some glue on the back side. This is the side you don't want showing, and we're going to add glue here and then put the end of the side that we like on centered on that end all the way to the end. And as it gets adhered there, it should come past the top just the tiniest bit, just a hair. Like hairiest hair, just a teeny bit. Okay, so I'm gonna add this with Stampin' Seal Plus. You could use tear and tape. I hesitate to use liquid glue only because we've got some moving parts here, and if anything were to seep a little bit, it might cause a problem. So I'm gonna just put this up to that edge and stick that down. So as we turn it over, we should see that kind of, and this is why we have a notch, so you can kind of see this come through. And here's what this card is going to do, is going to have a revealing window on the front. Is that, it's not the coolest thing you've ever seen? I saw this card and I was like, oh, we have to make this. So here is the mechanism. Okay, so turn it back over. We are going to add glue just along these edges. Do not add any here. Don't add any on this side. None of the tag gets any glue. It's just these three sides. So don't put it in these little triangle areas either. All right, so, but yeah, we can add the glue and then put this on later. Okay, so I'm going to stay away from that tag. Since this isn't liquid glue, I can just stick this on and put it aside because we do have some work to do on here before we put this on. Okay, so we will just put this off to the side. Oop. All right. And I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have added adhesive to it because you know what? We wanted to trace where the window would be. So we're just going to put this backwards for a second. Don't do what I just did. Don't put some glue on there. So we're going to just line this up and kind of pull the window up a little bit and trace it with a pencil. And you can see how difficult it is now because I have glue on this now, but it's on the top side, so it's not going to stick. I'm just going to lightly add where the edges are and where, about where I want this to kind of open to. I don't know, maybe there-ish or maybe a little bit lower. So, all right, so we can just stick that off to the side. Now we're good. Okay, so I have a light pencil marks about where I want a sentiment to be. This is going to be a hidden sentiment. So the Sharon, the tag is attached just at that bottom strip. There's a bottom strip here, and we added glue to the back side of it. And this is, so right side up, turn both of those over, and then they're both attached just on that lower edge. Okay, so here is where we want our sentiment. And I think that I want to use this greeting from Scenic Adventure, which was this is our bundle for the card club this month. So those packages will be going out in a few days. And so I just really liked all of these. So, and let's go ahead and do cheers to another adventure. So I was trying to decide whether I want this in Misty Moonlight or Mossy Meadow. And with this, I think I'll do it in the Misty. I don't really know. It should be fine either way. I could do one in one color and one in another color, really. All right, so I'm just going to center this between my pencil lines. Adventure. And you don't want this up on dimensionals at all because we're going to have that moving mechanism over the top. So don't want this in green. I don't think I will. Sometimes when you go a little bit extra, it's too extra. So we're going to keep it a little bit more simple. Cheers to another adventure. Okay, so before we glue the front on, we are going to erase our pencil lines, just like this, which you probably won't see them anyway because the edges of that window go up to those areas, but just in case. There. All right, so here is our card front. Make sure that it's opening at the bottom, right? And now we can put this mechanism on. So here's our front. Here's our mechanism as it's sliding. It's attached just behind this little tab right here. And as the middle doesn't have any glue, right? We just added glue to the edges right here. So I'm going to turn this whole thing sideways because this whole front is exactly the same size as this. So I can kind of just kitty these up to each other. Is that a term? I don't know. And I'll hold that with the edge of my hands there and then just kind of guide that. Hopefully that's going good. It's off just a little bit. That's okay. All right, so there is our card, and I hope I did this right. So as we pull this, yay, we should have this hidden message right there. Okay, so now we can continue to decorate the front. So now I want this piece of DSP number 2. This is the one that's matching the tag. This one is 3 inches wide by 3 1/4 tall. And then we want a couple more pieces for this whole area. We're going to decorate the front, but we're only gluing on certain areas. So make sure you pay attention to this part. This is our coordinating cardstock that I had too thin in the directions that I emailed out. So I apologize about that. We haven't had any mistakes in a while. But it's 2 5/8 by 2 7/8. Because the white part that we have a white piece that's going to go on top, the neutral 2.5 by 3, I'm sorry, 2.5 by 2 3/4. And I actually sponged this one with some blending brushes because I wanted it to look like a sky. But this is where you would just add your greeting or your die cuts or whatever decorations that you wanted. And this coordinating cardstock is just to kind of ground it on this piece down here. So we have all these pieces to decorate our cute little panel here. And so I'm going to put this mountain. So let's go ahead and we're going to decorate our white panel. I'm going to put this mountain in the background. You can see the sky's a little bit darker at the top. Have you ever looked at the sky? When I'm coloring, I always feel like it would go darker to lighter, but it's really bright blue at the top and then it gets whiter and less blue near the horizon. So darker blue at the top if you're doing a sky. So we're going to add this with some liquid glue. I made it a little shorter because I can make it, we're just covering all that up anyway. So we're just going to add cute little, so this is going to, cheers to another adventure, right? So this does look adventurous. I want to go here. We're going to add a tree line. So all of these pieces I just cut at 2.5 inches wide and then just however tall. We can always trim to whatever height we want. So there's a cute little tree line. So cute. And then here's some bushes. In fact, maybe I want the bushes to be a little bit lower. And then we'll just trim that off too. Actually, I'll take my trimmer out and just trim it right now. I want this to be a little bit shorter because I did that tree line just a smidge shorter than I had it sitting in a minute ago. There, that'll work. Just like that. Ooh, should we put that on dimensionals? That would be cool, right? Like it's in the foreground. Ooh, yes, let's do it. I hope everyone's having a great day. It's 85 today, so I got my summer clothes on here in mid-Michigan. Super cute. Okay, so we're going to put this on this panel here. And we don't even have to add any words to this this decorated panel. I didn't on, well, I think I did on one of them. But this can just be a cute little scene. But you can definitely add multiple greetings because now you have more room because of this secret panel, right? Oh my goodness, I love it. So I'm going to add this on dimensionals too on top of here. If this feels a little flimsy to you, you can always add another piece of cardstock behind it and the same size. I think we'll be good. So we're just gonna add, we'll add 5. Nice and supported. And this is gonna be added to this front little tent area, not on the bottom panel and not on this back side, just right here. So that's the only area that gets adhesive. I'm gonna center this piece on here. Oh, that's pretty. Oh my goodness. Okay, so that's gonna go on here like this. Oh, that looks so cool. All right, I'm gonna add this with liquid glue because we're going to stay away from the edges and it should be fine. And then we can kind of wiggle that into place. Since it's up, I can kind of rest that on the bottom. It's a little bit wider than our slider area, so it's not going to get stuck. And I'm going to give that a pinch from the back side and maybe fold it flat real quick to give it a good press. So, because it does go flat to fit in an envelope. Oh my goodness, isn't that so pretty? Now it looks like a beautiful wall hanging. So I have these extra trees and I wasn't sure if I'd be able to use these or not. You can add some things off the edges if you put them on dimensionals if to allow this area to move. So you can't add anything that crosses over these two areas because this is that little thin panel that moves. So you could add something that kind of overlaps with a dimensional as long as it didn't glue itself to this piece. I was thinking I might cut these trees apart, which are part of this die set. I'm just going to kind of wiggle it so it still looks like we can use both of those trees. It's still tree-ish, right? There, now we have 2. We'll clean this one up a little bit. Looks a little sad on this side. Sure. There. So we might be able to add this. That might be too much with this this moving. Maybe we'll just add the little one. That looks cute. It's kind of like an extra little embellishment. I'll add it with some mini dimensionals maybe. So I have 2 alternatives, and actually one of them is for Card Club next month. Our Delightful Card Club is a monthly subscription, although you can check it out for tryclub.orderwithdeb.com if you wanted to just check it out. It's like $5 more, but then you don't have to worry about any subscriptions being charged that you forgot about. But it's $44 a month. It includes about $25 of Stampin' Up! Supplies. And you can make 8 cards, 2 of each, and it's all shipped to your door. We just feature one bundle or set of products, make it nice and easy for you. This is so cute, right? All right, so now you can still decorate the inside, and we're gonna put a little tag on the top so that this is more obvious that you have to pull it. So I'm gonna take this right here. I'm not even sure which ribbon I'm going to use. This is our 1/8 inch circle punch, but it comes in a bundle with this really nice ribbon pull punch. So if I have a wider ribbon, I can just use this one, which I did on one of the samples. Let's see which ribbon I want. Let's see. We could do linen thread and could do this basic beige, maybe. This is a little wider, so let's do that one. It's slightly different than the basic beige I used on one of the alternatives. So we just need to make this a little bit wider with this other punch there. We'll just put this through, give ourselves room to work with it. And then I'm going to take both of these and feed it in from the back. You could just tie a knot through there too, but I'm going to have this kind of loop over the front there, give it a little tug gently because this is paper. And if we need to secure that with a glue dot, we might need to. We don't want this to be too tall either because it still needs to fit in the envelope, but that at least gives somebody a an indication that you can pull that. Cute, cute, cute. All right, so I'll probably put some embellishments on this one too. So what should we use for embellishments? Let's take a quick peek here. How about these antique pearls? They kind of go along with this ribbon a little bit. And stay tuned for 2 more alternative cards because I need you to vote on your favorite one. So we'll just put a few of those over there. Ooh, we can even put one on our little moving piece here. We'll just kind of put a smattering. Maybe we'll put some more over here. There. All right, so here is card number 1. And that's how it does. And then I mean, we haven't even touched the inside, but you definitely want to do the inside too. So let's close it just a smidge so you can see how that works on the camera here. Here is card number 2. This one is for our card club because we are using this amazing in the washi tape. What is it called? It's and Tina will help us, the Extraordinary Flora washi tape, I believe it is. And we have this really cool specialty paper that we get to sponge on. So lucky to know you. Here is card number 2. And we just use some basic rhinestones and some linen thread on this one. Super cute. And then here is card number 3 using the coneflower celebrations. And there's like a cool die here that does like this double flower kind of thing. And so I just added the bow to that little lower panel. So when you pull it, it stays on that flat panel. So here is card number 3. So let me know which one of these 3 is your favorite. Yes, the Flora washi tape is out of stock right now, but it is coming back in stock supposedly next week sometime, but definitely in time for me to get them for club for July because I placed my order near the end of the month. So if you want to sign up for club and have lots of different projects using this beautiful Flora washi tape, we're actually not even using the bundle that goes with this. We're using a different stamp set, but that die definitely comes in handy when you want to cut this. This is this is both of the colors on the washi tape. It has this kind of red and purpley stuff, and I don't know if I showed anybody this, but it looks so cool on different cardstock colors too. So I just used it on white for our club, but it definitely has so many pieces. It hardly looks like I used the whole roll. So we got votes coming in: number 1, number 3, number 2, number 1, number 2, 1 and 3. Coneflower. Thank you guys. Number 3. Awesome. All right. Well, thanks for watching and tuning in, and we will see you again next week. I appreciate you guys all watching and following along. Put my face back in here. I got my hair different today. It felt like it was cooler if it was up higher. We get more votes. Number 2, number 2, number 2, oh, all 3. Thanks, Rose. All right. So thank you again for watching. I appreciate you. It's wonderful when you make comments on the video. It helps other people find us and tune in again. And if you saw recently, we hit 13,000 subscribers on YouTube, which is amazing. So if you haven't subscribed yet on YouTube, go ahead and do that. And you can, again, sign up for my email list, email.orderwithdeb.com. All right. Thank you again for watching. I hope you have an amazing day, and we'll see you again next week. All right. Bye, guys. And big thanks to Tina for helping out again. All right. Bye.